our next topic for today, which is degrees of comparison. So what are we comparing here? We are comparing the qualities of nouns and putting them in different orders or different degrees. So here we are talking about the adjectives, the qualities of nouns, by talking about quality of one noun or comparing it with another, and then also we can compare the qualities with more than 2 or 3, and the number can go, it can be any number. So degrees of comparison is our next topic. An adjective of quality changes its form when it is used to compare one noun with another. And what is important in this, that the first word, the adjective changes its form, and there are some specific rules for that. But first let us go to the degrees. What are these degrees of comparison? See, an adjective of quality changes its form when it is used to compare one noun with another. It is called the degree of comparison of one adjective. So when we talk about one noun and talk about its quality, that becomes the first degree. But if we compare the same quality between two nouns, then it becomes one higher degree of comparison. And similarly, we can do it for more than 2. So those are degrees of comparison. How many degrees of comparison are there? There are 3 degrees of comparison. What are those? Now there are 3 degrees of comparison. What are those? The first one is the positive degree. The second is the comparative. And the last is the superlative. See, the positive degree. When we talk about one noun and talk about its qualities, so they are all positive degrees. If we talk about the qualities of one noun, like for example, this boy is tall, this place is beautiful, so we are talking about the qualities of one noun here. In the second one, we are comparing some qualities between 2 nouns, and in the last superlative degree, we are comparing some qualities in more than 2 nouns. See, the first one, the positive degree is used to refer to one object, person or place without making any comparison. That means we are talking about the quality of a one noun here. For example, if this is a tab, so I'll tell you, and this is a picture of a cartoon here. So I can ask you, please tell the adjectives for these 2 nouns. So whatever adjectives you will say for all these nouns, those will be positive degrees, and those can be good qualities as well as bad qualities. It is not just that it is called positive degree, so all qualities should be positive. No, they can be negative also. But when we talk about one noun, so those qualities are positive degrees. For example, the positive degree is used to refer to one object. Here we have a picture of a house. So here we have only one noun. And what can we say about this house? It is a big house, or she has a big house. The house is beautiful. The house is big. The house is huge. So we can say different words for this single noun. So what do we understand here? That positive degrees are used when we talk about the qualities of a singular noun. Now coming to comparative degree. The comparative degree refers to a greater degree. That means it is higher than the positive degree of adjective as compared to the positive degree. So what do we do here? It is used to compare 2 objects. That means we are comparing some quality between 2 nouns, objects, places or people. So here we can say we have got the same house. Now we have got one more house. So we have got 2 objects here, and we are comparing some of their qualities. It is used to compare two objects, people or places. Her house is bigger than my house. In the earlier one we used she has a big house. That means there we were talking about one house. Now here we have two houses and we are comparing the size of these two houses. So big has changed into bigger. See, keep on noticing, keep on observing these words also. So when we compare, we use words like bigger. Got it? When we use comparative degree. Now, superlative, the highest degree, refers to the greatest degree of the adjective. How is it the highest or greatest? The superlative degree refers to the greatest degree of adjective. It is used to compare more than two. That means we are comparing more than two nouns here. Objects, people or places. We are comparing the qualities here. Qualities of some nouns here. Now we have the houses again. The first picture, in the second picture we had two houses and now here we have three houses. And what do? We are comparing the sizes of these three houses. So one which is the biggest of all, we can use it as biggest. The big changes into biggest. So we are comparing the size of the houses here. So here we can say his house is the biggest of all. Or if we are again comparing the size, we can also say that is the smallest house, or she has the smallest of all the houses. Okay, so these can be degrees of comparison. When we are talking about quality of a singular noun, we say that we use positive degree for that. But if we are comparing some quality between two nouns, we use comparative degree and the word gets changed. And if we use the highest degree for more than, if we compare the qualities of more than two nouns, we use the highest degree, that is the superlative degree. Now the changes which we saw in the words, which we saw in the positive degree, the words we use for positive degree can be ER or EST. These are the most common changes that happen in the words. How do these words get changed? We usually use ER for comparative degree and EST for the superlative degree. And where do we use these? To most one or two syllable words. What does this word syllable mean? This word means how many parts does a word have. That means how can we say a word in how many breaths. Like for example, we have a word beautiful. See, how can we break this word? We can break this word by pronouncing it in different parts. How do we pronounce it? We say beautiful. This is the breaking of the word. When we have to learn spellings when we are small and we don't know the spellings of some words, how do we learn that? We break the words in different parts, then try to spell the word like that. For example, if I didn't know the spellings of beautiful, how would I learn it? I will just first spell beau, B-E-A-U. Okay, then I'll say T. So how do we spell T-I? Then full, F-U-L. So this is the breaking of the word into different parts. In how many breaths we can say we can speak a word. Those are called syllables. These different parts of words are called syllables. So in most words having one syllable or two syllables, what changes happen there? We use ER or EST at the end of the word. See, these can be the changes, like clean becomes cleaner. See, clean, it is a single syllable word. It becomes cleaner and cleanest. Dirty, so two syllable. Dirtier and dirtiest. Clever, cleverer and cleverest. Simple, simpler and simplest. Here what changes have we made? We have used ER at the end of the words, or sometimes it can be IER. We'll go to that also. Now narrow becomes narrower and narrowest. When the positive ends in E, we add only R and ST to the adjective. Now some words are there which have E at the end. In the end. So what do we do there? We do not use another E there. We just use R or ST there. So we do not say EER. Examples can be like this. See the word large. It ends with E. So for positive degree we have large. For comparative degree we have larger. And superlative degree we have largest. So this word changes into ER or EST. No second E is used there. Now next. See, this is important. Everything is important, but this is slightly confusing. When the positive ends in consonant, if the positive word or positive degree of adjective ends with a consonant plus Y, consonant plus Y, we drop the Y and add IER and IEST. So what does it mean? See, if the word ends with consonant and after that we have Y, so we don't write Y, we just omit Y, and instead of that Y we put I, and then ER and EST is the regular form. So instead of Y we write I, and after that we write the regular ER or IEST. Like for example, see the word lucky. K is a consonant here, and Y we have, after that we have Y. So the comparative degree becomes luckier. Y is not used. Instead of that Y we use IER, and for superlative degree we use IEST. But then there are words. See, here we are saying when the positive ends in consonant, okay, but instead of consonant, if we have a vowel there, like in the word gay, G-A-Y, gay means happy, joyful. So in the word G-A-Y, we have a vowel first. Before Y, we have a vowel. So G-A-Y, how do we change it? The Y doesn't get changed in I, it remains Y only. So it becomes gayer, G-A-Y-E-R and G-A-Y-E-S-T, gay, gayer and gayest. So remember this, if the word ends with Y and has a consonant before that, it changes into I-E-R. But if the word ends with Y but has a vowel before that, so it doesn't change at all. We just use only ER and EST at the end. So you have to remember these rules. But remember, all of these rules do not apply to all words. There can be some exceptions also. Now when the positive is a word of one syllable that ends in vowel plus consonant, we double the ending consonant and then add ER and EST. So what does it mean? If the word is of only one syllable, like I just said gay, okay, so, and what other things should we keep in mind? That ends in a vowel, one syllable word ending with a vowel plus consonant. Only one syllable word ending with a vowel, and then after that we have a consonant. We double the ending consonant, so the last word is doubled, and then add ER. So what do we have here? Like in the first picture we saw the house is big. See, the big word is made of just one syllable, big. We say it in a one breath. But we have, after B we have I, which is a vowel, and G, which is a consonant. So the word big is ending with vowel plus consonant. So last letter G, the consonant is doubled. So it becomes bigger and biggest, double G and double G. See, in like in the same, this example has got the same way. Positive is red. It ends, it is a one syllable word ending with E vowel and then D, and it becomes redder and reddest. Now in the next, when the positive is long, that means when the word, the adjective itself is quite long, that is a word of 2 or more syllables. Like I said, beautiful, it is a 3-syllable word. What do? We don't use er or est at the end, but before these words we use more and most before the adjective to form comparative and superlative degree. So words having 2 or more syllables, we don't use, mostly we don't use er or est with them, we use more and most before them. More for comparative and most for superlative degree. So here are more examples. Difficult, 3-syllable word. So we say more difficult and most difficult. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Expensive, more expensive, most expensive. Now see, these were some of the rules which we follow while changing the word positive degree into comparative and superlative. Now there are some words, they just get converted into totally different words. There are some adjectives that do not form the comparatives and superlatives from their positives. They have irregular degrees of comparison. So these are called irregular adjectives. Like good, the comparative for this is better and best. Bad, worse, worst. Much, more, most. Many, more, most. Little, less, least. Little, less, least. So now again there are some special adjectives which can take more than 2 forms. Like for comparative we can use 2 forms for it and both are correct. And again for superlative we use 2 forms for it, again both are correct. Like in word clever, we can use cleverer also, we can use more clever also, and cleverest as well as most cleverest. Common, commoner, more common also. Commonest, most common also. So likely, likelier, more likely. So both are correct for them. So these are some things which you have to remember. Otherwise these are very simple, these topics, but then you have to follow the rules. You have to know the rules and understand them, how to change the word, where to use er and where to use IER, where not to use. Like you have to know these rules, that is more important. And we use than, this also you have to remember, and this can't be changed. There are no exceptions for this. We use than with a comparative degree. If we are using a comparative degree in a sentence, so we have to write than after it necessarily. And when we are using superlative degree in the sentence, before that we use the article the. Like in the example, we use than with the comparative degree, use the with the superlative degree. Like in the example below, Mohan is shorter than Vicky. So this word always follows the comparative degree, and we use the with the superlative degree. Like in the example, Falguni is the shortest girl in her class. So these 2 things you also have to remember when we are using these degrees in sentences, what all we should keep in mind. So if we are using a comparative degree, after that comparative degree always use than, and before a superlative degree use the word the. So that was all for today. I'm sure you have understood it. If not, you can always watch these videos as many times as you want. Plus you can always call me or send a message for clearing your doubt. Thank you children, that would be all for today. God bless you.